Hello, Fearless Gamers, and welcome to another podcast here on Fearless Games. I'm Matt the Vet, and today I'm joined by...
James Wildcard.
How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. You know, I took a hiatus from logging into MechWarrior Online just because I've been busy. But I've been logging into it again recently.
Your clan! It was ruined.
It is. But aside from having cool new mechs, they really upped the ante. I don't know how long it's been out like this, but their tutorial thing used to be, you know, a voice overlaid, some dummy mechs you shoot at, and, you know, that's about it. They really upped the ante for the tutorial, for the basic training. Now it's like almost like a tutorial world. You go to different areas to try different things out. It's just a lot more interactive. It's a lot more comprehensive at teaching you stuff. And it's, I think, a really good tutorial for a game like this. So, I mean, aside from it being free to play, the tutorial is now a lot better than it was in the past. So I highly recommend anybody who likes giant robots and who doesn't.
People who don't like giant robots.
They're not people. But, I mean, that's really cool. And on the biotech miniature front, it's, you know, it's all is quiet, but all is going digital with PDFs. So there's a lot more, you know, a lot of that is kind of nice because, A, it's PDFs. You know, you don't need some fancy reader program or anything like that. So anything can read it, that can read a PDF. And, you know, with more and more people having their tablets and their stuff, you can get all of the biotech stuff right on there in PDF form.
Yep. Now, I'm sorry. One thing that want to go on before we start dabbling into the babble of the day is, we have a question here on one of our, on our most recent podcast.
Yes.
And it says, no, I don't want to autoplay. I already heard the podcast. Let's see. I'm on the, you know, I was there.
I was there. I've seen it.
Let's see. We were asked, checking to see if you guys played World in Conflict, an alternate history World War III RTS where the Soviets invade the U.S. To be perfectly honest, I've heard of it. I have not played it.
I've heard of it too. I've seen some stuff with it, but I've never played it.
It's, I'm not... Typically, now granted, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments about this, but I tend to avoid games I try to avoid shooters a lot, especially if the shooter is specifically geared towards more the multiplayer.
Well, it's an RTS,
and less
right?
Story. Yes. Oh, it's a real-time strat. I am dumb. I am sorry. I'm thinking of another game that's similar where it's Korea attacks, America, not Russia.
Well, yeah, well, this is World War III type of... The thing is, for me, I like strategy games. They're fun. Alternate history stuff, while cool, I have a little bit hard time getting into it just because, for me, for example, here's another example, Fallout series, right? That's an alternate thing for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to figure out what all has been alternated, you know what I mean? To get into the story. Like, getting into real history can be tough enough as it is. But I have heard of World in Conflict. I'm just not the biggest fan of World War III stuff, really, because I feel... I don't know too much with this one, but I feel a lot of it is almost like... The best way I can describe it is steampunky. You know, we got to make it look kind of old-fashioned-y, but yet futuristic. And that's not my bag, but I have heard of this. It would be interesting to see, especially how they stated that the story's pretty good. It would be interesting to see the story play out. It's one of those things that I'm going to have to wait for a sale type deal.
Yes. What am I thinking? I'm thinking something.
Yeah.
Yes, like I said, I can't really say much. I do like RTSs, but I'm horrible at them.
Me too.
But I definitely, I'm sorry. I'll definitely give this a look because I am always looking for new stuff to play.
I didn't realize. I must have read something different for our pricing. It's only like $10.
Oh wow, that's not bad at all for an RTS.
For some reason I thought it was more than that. And so I'll have to check. I might have to check it out just for the fact that $10 ain't that bad.
No.
That's cool.
So yes, thank you for bringing this game to our attention. Which definitely. I will. Let's see. I'm gonna go on Steam right now. I'm actually gonna put that on my watch. I'm gonna take a look at it.
Yeah, it's cool. I've definitely seen this before, but I thought I saw it for like $40. I don't know what I was.
Well, you might have saw it for $40 when it originally came out.
Well, when did this game come out?
I have no idea. I just found out about this game.
Oh, right, it came out in 2007. That's why.
Yeah, so you probably saw it when it first came out.
Don't tell me that it's been that long since I saw this.
Back in your day, your memory was back.
I feel old. Well, what is it that just turned 10 years old? Serenity?
Yeah, Serenity's been out for like 10 years or something. Or 7 years, I think, or something like that.
It came out in 2005, didn't it?
2005?
Because I thought I saw it had like a 10-year anniversary recently.
Yes, because I think that was the whole joke with Wash in their new Con Man show, which I have no idea. I lost what happened to that one.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that either. But that made me feel old. And if when I first saw it, I guess I haven't really seen too much about this game since the first, because I do remember hearing about it, but it couldn't have been that long. Man, time flies.
Time does fly when you're old. Especially
because for a game that came out in 2007, when you look at the still shots of it, it's still pretty dang good.
Yeah. And speaking of stuff like that, it seems like we've got ourselves some new fancy stuff finally for 40K. You know, the Age of Sigmar is taking a break for right now.
It's taking a breather.
Some Tauage.
Yeah, well, I mean, before
not the greatest army. I will admit, I was kind of hoping that it was going to be Chaos Space Marines.
Nah, I think Tau's a good choice, but before that, real quick, the Scarbrand model is really cool.
Yes, he does look pretty awesome.
And
I hear though I haven't been picking up White Dwarf as of late, mainly because the store that I go to sells out. And as much as I enjoy Age of Sigmar, I'm the only person right now in my collective group in the area that has models for Age of Sigmar. So I haven't gotten fully invested in it yet. It's one of those...
Yeah.
I gotta try this out. I'm probably gonna do it after this huge, because I got a APOC game coming out this weekend. So probably after that I'll dive into more stuff, so I'm not so focused on 40K.
Right. Plus, I mean, Scarbrand pulls double duty.
Yes, he does. He does, but I hear his Age of Sigmar rules are better.
Well, I would imagine so, just given the nature of the game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a cool-looking model. Also, a hidden little gem with the Tau thing, like they did in the past with the Tactical Squad box for Space Marines, is there, and I imagine it'll go past Space Marines also, but they're re-releasing Sternguard and Vanguard with 32mm bases.
Yep. And excuse me. And we've got new Tau Fire Warriors, it looks like. And 2 new Riptides, one which is a Lord of War, and you can have 3 of them. How lovely.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a new Riptide.
It's a Riptide chassis, and it's pretty much the size of a Riptide.
It's bigger than a Riptide.
Everything I'm reading says it's roughly the same size. It's what makes it bigger is the gun.
Yeah, but model. I'm talking the way they describe it. It's supposed to be bigger. But
fluff wise, yeah. No, I'm talking like model wise.
Right. Well,
it's a lot. It's the same size.
It's cool. There's nothing really for Fire Warriors out just yet.
Not just yet, but a lot of the
it's such an old kit.
that kit has been around since it came out in 3rd ed.
I mean, you know what? The Fire Warrior kit and the Crisis Suit kit, I think, need to be refreshed. They don't look bad, but when you look at all the new stuff that came out for Tau when they got their last edition of the Codex, you can see a bit of age to it. And
okay, this video that they put on the website for the new Tau thing, Stormsurge, is kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And the Stormsurge is interesting. I don't like the exposed cockpit area.
That part doesn't bother me.
I just don't like it because I'm like, you're Tau. You know better than this. All of your stuff is designed to operate in space also. Why would you have this open like this?
But that's because this thing isn't designed to open fight in space. This was designed as a planetary defense unit because they realized running away and coming back later stopped being practical.
Well, no, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, anything can work in space if you try hard enough. Especially when you look at, I mean, it's full of missiles, rockets and stuff. They could definitely, you give it a way to not die in space due to lack of breathing, and this thing would rock like standing on top of a ship just blasting away at stuff.
Yeah,
Gundam style, like Gundam style.
They figure that since they just needed to be a town guard, it doesn't need to be usable in a vacuum.
Well, the other thing that goes with that is that while I liked Stormsurge because I like giant mechanical stuff, the Tau, what I like about it is it doesn't have arms. I like things with arms to be. I like their Gundam-looking stuff also, but I like this because it's so just mechanical. It's just shoot stuff with it.
One of the things I like about it is as I said, the lack of arms. The top torso reminds me of the missile launcher in the Terrans for StarCraft.
Yeah, it does.
And if you read the fluff, to anyone who isn't aware, basically the Tau have started realizing that with the coming threat of the Imperium, the whole just run away and hope they get lazy and take them by surprise later has not been a very good strategy as of late. So they designed this new defensive line to basically guard their major cities. That way, when the whole Tau force leaves to spread the greater good to another planet, they have something on the ground that could shoot things until it's dead. So I'm looking at this going, it's a giant missile turret that walks. That's awesome.
Oh, I know, it's very cool. The thing is, though, the Tau were always, even with their bigger stuff and lumbering stuff, and this still has maneuverability to it, the Tau were always maneuverability. I mean, you look, that's evident by their battle suits and their stealth suits.
The Riptide.
It's evident by the Riptide still. It's been evident by Pathfinder squads, which require a transport. Or at least they used to. I don't know if they still do.
I don't think they do.
But they're still very maneuverable. They don't have their weapons. I mean, they do have the ability to basically become sniper-esque. But that's still all part of the maneuverability aspect and having things to pin things down while things move with their smart missile systems and everything. They've always been about maneuverable firepower, and they've always been about, in a battle, holding ground isn't necessary because once you kill the enemy, you got the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the Riptide is still proof of that. The Stormsurge is barely holding on to that philosophy, and they can take the Tau wherever they want. It's their IP. But one of the things I liked was their radical concept of fighting, which is, why do we have to hold the line? We can just maneuver the line around some more, blow everything up, and then we have the line back once everybody's dead. So, I mean, this can still fill into that. And I doubt they're going to go, real hardcore Imperial vehicle-like stuff because this obviously isn't, because it walks and it works.
Yeah. Well,
and it's
like I said, it throws out the whole maneuverability thing. Like, I think the idea behind this model and its fluff was more, every mission is always about the Tau attacking something. How about a mission where you have to attack a Tau defense line? And then it would basically build you up your narrative. Oh, you're attacking a Tau forward base. Well, then here's a bunch of storm surges because that's where they would be, type of thing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it still can move. So it's not like it's. It's not like it's a Necron pylon. Take that, Necron.
That's what it is. It's maneuverable because it's like, oh, that boardwalk is being attacked. Okay, let me walk over there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even still, even on a defensive thing, the Tau. The Tau are so. The thing I like about Tau is that everything about them is different from every other force in 40K. they're like, let's design new technology, gasp and all.
Yep.
Let's maneuver instead of just taking a hit. Let's not worry about trying to cut it when we have plasma technology and railgun technology and all that. And it still all works. And one of the things I do like, it's just a fluff thing because, with Eldar, with Space Marines, even with Necrons, it's just they can dust off something old in the closet and bring out a new unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We found this in our storage shed. Oh, awesome.
We realized that Ted made this 5 years ago.
So the Tau have the same capability, but it's all fresh new technology. In the end, it equates to potential new units in a codex. But I like the Tau's refreshing approach to it, unlike the Space Marines and the Imperium. This ancient technological device we discovered, or the Eldar, we dusted off this Wraithbone construct that we had for millennia, or the Necrons going, we are ancient and everything's still awesome. But I just like the Tau's refreshing approach.
It's the one thing I'd have to say, with the Eldar, surprisingly enough, the only thing that I'm recalling being something that's been always around, but, just started resurfacing for them is the Shadow Specters. I haven't read too much into the Hornet, so I'm not sure where it falls in line. If it's it's been here the entire time, which is one of the things I kind of like about the Eldar when you, as you mentioned, whenever they throw out new tech, GW's always like, what are you talking about? This thing's always been here. Where have you been?
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. They're for example, Wraith Knights, they've always been there.
Yeah.
But it's just, and that's my point, for a codex, it can go, well, let's just pull something out of our hat. It's always been here for the Eldar and use it, which is
that's
fine.
But that's what I like about them, where, GW acts as if it's been mentioned in every codex
right.
and we just never noticed it.
But, I like that.
Wait, what is that? Dude, where have you been? We mentioned it in second ed. It's the Shadow Specters. Where are they mentioned in the second ed? Somewhere in the back.
Yeah, somewhere in the back credits section. And with things like Space Marines, for example, the Land Raider Redeemer. Yeah, it's kind of new, but it's based off the Land Raider, which is tens of thousands. You know what? One thing with 40K that, as much as I like it, it's absolutely silly when you think about it. Mark 7 power armor for Space Marines is 10,000 years old.
10 years old. Yeah.
And when you think about the preposterous amount of time that has passed to the modern 40K timeline and how stuff has not changed for the Imperium, and you guys think that can't happen. That can't possibly be.
And really, if you think about it, Mark 7 and all that, they're allowed to upgrade current tech with current tech to make it better. So Mechanicum hasn't figured out how to make Mark 8 yet.
Well, Mark 8, the Iran is around. It's just in short supply.
Oh, right. I thought, for some reason, Mark 7 was the one that was in short supply.
Mark
and that Mark 6 was
Mark 8 is brand new. It's only a couple thousand years old. I mean...
Oh, it's a baby!
Yeah, right? It's a baby. That doesn't even know a word yet. But that's the silly part when you think about it. But that's one thing that I love about the Necrons. When's the last device we made? Well, when did we first go to sleep? Yeah, that's when we last made this. Yeah, it's still the most advanced tech around, whatever.
New. It's still new, you fancy kids with your iPods.
But that's what I love about the Necron. Even though I don't play them really because it's just boring to paint them, and boring because there's not too much variety or spicing up you can do with them aside from going, see that shoulder pad? It's a slightly different shade of metallic. It's rusted for some reason. But I know there's plenty of different ways you can color them and paint them. But it's just I love about the fact that it's we're aeons of years old. We're aeons and aeons old, and our tech still beats anything on the market today.
Yep.
It's just funny.
But I'll have to say, as cool as the Stormsurge is, if there's any one model that'll get me into Tau, it's the new Forge World Riptide Titan thing that they've got.
The Forge World, it's not a Robotech monster, but it's a Robotech monster.
Yeah,
monster.
That thing is awesome looking.
The thing is awesome, and that's one of the things I'm like, if only a Codex would have it in there, but I know why they don't because it's got to be everything that GW sells. But that thing is just crazy.
And what I really love about it, which is really awesome, the arms actually have small slots for magnets.
Yeah.
And they actually tell you in the instructions which magnets to use for it. And so I saw scans of it. They actually went like full-on Gundam instructions with these things.
Well,
not to the degree where they show you
every... because Tau is 40K's Gundam.
Basically, they practically ripped off Gundam. Look at the heads. The heads.
What do you mean practically?
Zaku.
It's basically if Gundam was a real thing, but put in the 40K fluff and flavor.
Yep. Like I said, their heads are so Zaku, it hurts.
Yeah, no, and that's one of the things why I've always had a liking of Tau, is because I'm like, that's Gundam. You want a mobile suit? The only thing I'm waiting for is the Farsight to get the shining finger. It's gonna happen.
Shining finger.
Because he's the most close combat of all the battle suits, so he would be the one to have shining finger, if anything.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Or darkest finger.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the sword. He's got the sword of swordiness, so...
Yep, the sword of I live forever, but don't know the sword is making me live forever.
Yeah.
Is that a Necron thing, or is that an Eldar thing that he's got?
It's... neither.
I'm pretty sure it was one of those two techs.
It's not really given over to one or the other. It's not Eldar for sure. It's got heavy implications of Necron/Chaos, but it's not Chaos. But it's not officially Necron either. It's like this ancient thing that has yet to be properly identified. It's like utilizing an unidentified item without identifying it. He's running around with a soul-stealing sword, but he never got Deckard Cain to tell him what it is, so he doesn't know what it's doing. Stay a while and listen.
The Dawnblade, that's what it's called.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is...
Is it just me, or is his... I feel he should be, like, the posiest of posable characters in the Tau box sets, and he's not.
He's got a fantastic model, though.
He's got an awesome-looking model, but I'm like, he needs to be more posable.
Well, and what they did, in place of making him super posable, is they gave him a customized battle suit, which is unheard of, because no Tau customizes anything.
Yeah.
But Farsight is custom, because... Farsight is love, Farsight is life. So
Farsight is Farsight.
Yeah. So he's cool, but I mean, the Stormsurge is interesting. What I find, and I thought this might happen. I thought they might do a model first, and then have a codex later. And so I'm just interested to see. That's
what they tend to be doing now. And we've also got the new Super Stealth Riptide coming out.
Yeah, well, we have to wait and see exactly how
that rolls. We have to wait to see what it is. But it's super stealthy.
But the one thing I will say is...
Yes?
I hope, after, with Age of Sigmar and everything, I hope they learn to take a breather. Because April, May to June was 2 Codex releases a month.
Yep.
Do you realize we have 14 7th edition Codices out? Only 3
of them still not done.
Only 3 of them have any proper errata FAQ.
Yep, we're still waiting for the Dark Angel one.
Well, we're still waiting for Grey Knights, and that came out back in December of 2014 or something like that.
What's wrong with the Grey Knight one?
It's just any errata FAQ. There's always going to be questions. There's always going to be things they could clarify and neaten up.
Oh, I thought there was
no.
like how the Dark Angels have a blatant problem with their bikes missing a special rule.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do and they don't. I mean, anybody can play the Ravenwing Strike Force. You just have no say in your HQ right now because of reasons. But at least it's not.
Yes.
But at least
for anyone
who. It's not like a video game that would crash every time you load it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, for anyone who isn't aware, the Ravenwing Strike Force is allowed 2 HQs, but they all must have. But it actually has 3. Sorry, but the rule is they must all have the Ravenwing special rule, and there's only 2 HQs with the Ravenwing special rule, and it's the same person.
Yeah, and you only can have 1 in your army, so you only have 1 option. So you can't take more. You can't take multiple Ravenwing detachments because you need an HQ as a prerequisite for it.
Yep.
So I mean, it can run.
Obviously, if you're that one guy who's not going to allow the dude to have his bike chaplain count, then you're a jerk. Then you're a jerk, and I'm just not going to play with you.
Yeah. I mean, I think most places are just doing that as house things until they eventually errata it. Now they've always taken their time with errata.
I actually found someone who was like, no, it says in your Codex Ravenwing special rule, only Samio.
That's me
like,
telling
okay, and I based the one person who was telling me about this guy was like, oh, then what? You know what you do? You pack up and leave.
Yeah. Because I get
and then when he goes, why you leaving? You go, well, I only brought my Ravenwing Strike Force, and you clearly won't let me play it.
I don't get me wrong. When it comes to something like a tournament or an official event, yeah, you follow that because that's the way it's written in the book. But when you're just playing,
seriously,
really relax, bro. You know it's gonna get eroded to fix that anyway.
If anything, good sir, you probably have benefited from the fact that he's not running Samael.
Right, but also, even with this problem, the Ravenwing Strike Force can still build a battle force for your Ravenwing list, and Deathwing Strike Force can't do it effectively. So,
well, they can, but they lose on turn 1.
Well, the only way they don't is if you play the game of Hide the Dreadnought, and then you're not playing 40k, you're playing the game called Hide the Dreadnought. So it's not really.
But yeah, you know what I'm also very angry about FAQing. Speaking of that,
what?
I talked to Black Library like a year ago when 7th edition came out, and said, is the 6th Ed APOC book getting an update? Because I was kind of told, get all the FAQs. That was the benefit of the digital editions, that the FAQs automatically get updated on the book. And they went, yes, we're actually working on that, and that should be out in the next few months. And every digital book but the APOC book has gotten errata. Now, there is an FAQ for it, but they've never applied the FAQ to the APOC book.
Right. And the thing is,
I bought it. It even says in its description when you buy it on iPad for updates of FAQ updates automatically.
No, yeah, I hear you. But one of the things, firstly, is that the erratas for the codex and the rule books and stuff is on GW's website.
Yeah.
It's more updated. It is more up to date than on the Black Library website.
Wait, they're on both now?
Yeah. And the problem with the Black Library one is that there's a disparity between
When did this happen?
Yeah, it used to always be the GW, and then Black Library got it, and now they both have it. But for example,
like, where is this? I'm like,
you go on the bottom of the website and look at Rules Errata underneath Here to Help.
Here to Help. Okay, let's see.
The Space
Rules Errata.
The Space Wolves Codex on Black Library site says they have errata that was updated on the 22nd of October. On GW's it says January 2015. So they're not linked up, right?
Yeah.
Your most up to date one to look at is GW. So that's problem number one. If you're gonna have it on two sites, have it be the same.
Yeah.
Problem number two with that, going along with that is you have 11 of 14 up-to-date 7th edition books that are going to be around for a while, waiting for errata and FAQs. Now, the Dark Angels have a very clear and present thing that needs addressed. But, for example, Skitarii, Harlequins, Khorne Demonkin, Mechanicum are 4 brand new books with nothing to fall back on to look at all. 4 brand new books that have produced 4 different accounts where we're going to have brand new questions and issues that pop up because they never had to worry about it before. Yeah. That would benefit highly from an FAQ errataing. I'm not saying there's a clear and present thing that needs errata like the Dark Angels, but anything for clarification because it's a brand new codex. And these have been around for over... The Dark Angels Codex is the latest one that came out, and it's 3 months old now. It should have an errata by now. The Grey Knights is almost... I forget when that came out.
They came out like 2 years ago, or when did... Yeah, 2 years... 7th Ed came out 2 years ago?
Did it?
I don't know.
But for example here, the weirdest thing is the Space Wolves, the Dark Eldar, and the Orcs have errata that's up to date.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? The Grey Knights came out between Space Wolves and Dark Eldar, and they don't have an errata yet. they came out in August of 2014. The Blood Angels came out in December 2014, no errata. The Necrons, no errata. Harlequins, nothing. It's if they and the Tower coming, and that'll put them into another codex with no update errata because it'll be out of date because it'll be from the 6th edition, and that's understandable. It'll just come out. It needs like a month or two to get that rolling. But if they go back on their hard and fast release schedule, we're going to be swamped with a whole bunch of codices that will benefit from eventually getting FAQ errata, but because they're slow at doing it, who knows when it's going to happen. And I think what is highlighted here, not to dwell on GW stuff, but I think what's highlighted here is GW's problem they've always had, which is being up to date with their FAQ errata. When the Space Marine Codex went 5th Ed and they changed how certain war gear was, their original thing was to say you follow your codex and your codex specifically, so we didn't get anything. And then it took them nearly a year to give everybody everything that was called a Storm Shield. All Storm Shields were not created equal when the 5th edition Space Marine Codex came out, even though they had the same exact name and everything. And it took too long for them to eventually fix that via errata. And now we're seeing that multiplied because we have 11 books right now and more to come. I think I killed the internet. Hello?
I accidentally hit my mic mute button.
Oh, I was like, I think I killed the internet. What happened?
Apparently, let's see, I this little box thing, and I guess I moved in such a way that it accidentally turned off the microphone.
I was like, hello? Where'd everybody go?
Where did everybody go? So, shifting gears a little bit, I've had an interesting query on one of my forums about eBay deals, finding them, getting them, seeing them slip away. You have seen it? Have you gotten anything recently, or do you ever look on eBay for stuff?
I've looked on eBay for things. For example, Magic the Gathering, that was where I built some of my most competitive decks, was through eBay steals, as I call them, seeing the price and stuff and seeing if I can get in there and bid and whatnot. I got my old school Ralpotha edition Battlemaster mech model with the sculpt that I liked before the copyright infringement made them change it. Well, potential copyright infringement. Really, I think they were stretching it for that one. But so I have used it for stuff like that, where it's stuff either you're out of print, you're never going to see again, pops up every so often. I think, however, I think an eBay deal is hard to come by now, like a genuine deal.
Recently, I have hit a deal. With them, I got old school Wraithguard. I got 5 of them for $20.
Now, do they have proper FAQ errata?
So they're the same size and they're the same shape. They're good. I just need to replace their bases.
Right. It's just the reason I harp real quick on the FAQ errata thing is because that's a company that shows a company supporting its product, and it's a company's duty to support their product. Any company.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But that's a good deal for your old school stuff like that.
And I almost had a Bone Singer. Almost.
That is where I got my Bone Singer.
He went up to $49, and I was like, $50 for something if they just sold it brand new would be $30. I don't think that I can do that.
Right. No, I mean,
plus I've got a whole bunch of other stuff on eBay right now that are like super dirt cheap.
That's good.
One thing I will notice, what I'm kind of surprised about is how crazy much money people spend on something that's so old. Like, let's be honest. There are some models out there, where their original model didn't look that great.
Yeah.
Yet people will, for a good example, like the Bone Singer. It's a cool looking model, don't get me wrong, and I want one.
Yeah.
His forward hand looks weird. Like, it looks pudgy compared to the rest of his body. And some of the older models, I've seen people spend $100 on an original avatar from Rogue Trader. Now, for anyone who isn't aware, the original avatar from Rogue Trader is no bigger than a Guardian.
And he looks like trash.
And I'm like, you can't, that's not even his legal model anymore. He's too small. Why are you spending so much money on these things? There are just some, like, purchases out there. I'm just like, why are you spending so much money on this? One person that I know, one of my friends, had a orc model. It was one of these stupid, it didn't have a designation. It was just a freebie if you ordered White Dwarf that year.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'll put it in for, for like $2. Maybe I'll get $5 out of it. And he ended up with $80. And he's like, why?
I know, it's weird, especially I noticed with like GW stuff, you put the word Rogue Trader on there. If it's a Rogue Trader model, people want it, I think, because...
Or out of print.
Yeah, out of print and Rogue Trader models are what people love to get, even when they're not the cool-looking stuff anymore. I mean, some of the stuff is kind of cool that you can't get anymore, but very few and far between, just because the technology at the time is nowhere near what it is now.
A lot of it has to do, the model may look cool, the posings tend to look silly. Yeah. Because the tech at the time, they could only do so much.
Yeah, but, I think, honestly, in the case of that with GW stuff, I think it's either they're a player who's been around long enough to remember those models being played, and they want the nostalgia of having that back in their force, or it's a player who's heard about the golden times and is yearning for nostalgia they never had, thinking that somehow this will right all the wrongs.
Yep. Or it's just people who think if it's rare, it must be worth money.
Right. But
because that's one thing I do notice a lot, surprisingly a lot, is with the Bone Singer models. You'll see people buy it and then immediately put it on eBay.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, if I'm buying a model, no, I'm talking about for miniature wargaming, I'm buying with the purpose of painting it and keeping it.
Yeah,
this isn't like this isn't like an unopened, sealed, perfect condition 1970s action figure we're talking about here. We're talking about a pewter or plastic or resin thing.
Like, to be perfectly honest, if I ever got a Bone Singer, it's my Spirit Seer. Right, or just a plain Farseer.
Exactly.
Or I'm going to make rules for it where it sings and things get hull points and wounds back.
Right. But it's just, I never understood that for the miniature wargaming aspect. I've seen it with cards, like Magic the Gathering cards. You know, obviously...
Those are crazy.
Obviously, Power 9, really expensive still, because it's Power 9. But, But, I never understood, and you know what's also really weird? Especially what I noticed for 40k codices, number 003 limited edition codex is like $300 and people are bidding on them. Like, it's no different than the number 300 one.
Yeah.
Why do you care?
Because you're not one.
Like, yeah, I have.
This one dude.
I have a low number codex purely by chance, you know, and it's not. You know what? I really don't care because it doesn't do anything different.
Yep. I was a little upset when I found that I got number 300 and so, but then I was like, it's better than 500.
Yeah, but I have 19, but do I really care? Because it's not like, my codex better rules because it's number 19. It's the same rules.
But look at this. I found, just randomly looking, someone wants $114 for a Bone Singer. $114 for a model that has no rules.
That's ridiculous. I have one of the older, 3rd ed, remember the old Company Master model for the Dark Angels?
Yes.
I have that. And I'm sure if you look for it online, it's probably way too pricey for a model.
Let's see.
If it's even up there at all. But, I gotta tell you, that model is actually all around a bit smaller than the modern Space Marine models.
Yep, a lot of the older Space Marine models. Azrael is kind of tiny compared to the regular Space Marines.
I find him more in line than this Company Master model is. And
the Company Master is short.
And this one, the Company Master model, the posing's okay.
Which one is one where he's holding the sword, or?
Yeah, it's kind of like how the new one is, but it's older. It's let me see if I can. I'll give you a link to what I'm talking about. Now, I don't have it painted up like this because this is what they had it painted up as. This is also back in the... You can tell this is an older model because this is back in the day when they've had veteran... their inner circle guys would have Deathwing colored stuff all over their armor as well as the green.
Yeah.
That was back in the day when they would have that incorporated.
Back in my day.
Yeah, I don't know if that link will work or not. No, it's not going to work.
The link,
because that goes to my thing. I thought it was a website. Never mind. Because just take the K out of it and it should be fine. Just let me see. Of course, it doesn't work either. Great. All right, never mind then. But because it comes up.
You failed me.
Yeah, but anyways, it's just the model would probably be, heck, if it's $40, it's too much,
Yeah.
But I noticed some of that with BattleTech, some of that with some other Ral Partha miniatures, and I gotta be honest with you, there was a Kickstarter I think that might have got funded by Ironwind Metals to recast old Ral Partha models, and you look at them and you go, that's not the best looking dwarf or orc I've seen. It's kind of like it's very clearly from the early '90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people want, and I guess for that they like that. That was their thing. But you get an original one, and you shouldn't spend more than what it costs to buy a model for it. It's not it's weird.
In my opinion, unless it was like something like super rare, and stuff like that. If it's like, okay, sorry, I think of something and then my mind shuts down.
If it's like the Armorcast Baneblade or the Armorcast Eldar Titan or the Armorcast Warhound Titan, sure.
Yes, but I feel if there's an old model and a newer model replaces it, like the Striking Scorpions, then I don't see the need for paying so much money for the older Striking Scorpion model, because $50, I could just go and buy a new pack for $40.
No, exactly. And the thing is, it's like some old Armorcast stuff I could see because it's different.
Yeah, because it's different, it looks different, and that company knows it's allowed to make models anymore.
Yeah, but for example, also, if you can't really find them that much on eBay. Armorcast made big BattleTech miniatures.
I didn't know Armorcast did that.
Yeah, they had I'm talking big, not just like.
Yeah, I just didn't know they did more stuff than just GW special effects.
They did. They had a license, and I can't find an example of it, of course, now, but because it comes and goes on eBay, for example, is where you can find it. And the thing about it is, it's big. Like the stuff that's on eBay right now is not the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah. I've seen them. I got some images of them.
It's like a big Atlas.
Yep, the Mad Cat.
Yeah, and they're gigantic.
Yep, the Mad Cat, Battle Mech.
Yeah, the Battle.
I've seen them.
Yeah, the thing is, but like the scale of them is they're huge. They're 1/60th scale, which is gigantic for a 30-foot tall mech. But
yes,
but and those had some homebrew rules from Armorcast and stuff to play them. I would spend a good chunk of change on something like that to have, because those are no longer in existence for production.
Yeah,
that's like a collecting thing at that point.
Yeah,
but for like an inch tall piece of pewter, come on.
Yeah,
especially considering that,
crazy.
Like that old Striking Scorpion, for using GW example, or that old. Even though I didn't spend more than like $20 on my dude, my
Bonesinger,
the Bonesinger and the Battlemaster, on two separate occasions for BattleTech. I didn't pay too high for it. I paid like $25 or whatever, which I think is reasonable for an out of print original model. But those models, I mean that Battlemaster, that Striking Scorpion, that old Rogue Trader gigantic shoulder pad Terminator, they don't have different rules. It's the same rules. So why am I going to pay more for it? Unlike Magic the Gathering, Black Lotus. I
know that one.
And the other Power 9 and the Moxes and the Time Walk and all that. Those are rules you're never going to see at that level, at that power level,
again,
for that cheap a cost or for free ever again, really. So, I obviously, that's a whole other story of, it's no longer second edition or whatever they call it, not second edition, standard. It's now, it's not, you're basically playing in fun games and they're banned anyway or restricted.
Yeah.
But people are paying a lot for them because they were rare and they're super powerful. For fun and.
That's when it makes sense,
right?
In my
and
opinion.
because the rules are actually different. For another good example from Magic the Gathering was from the Urza days. It was the Manticore, I forget how they wrote it. It was so powerful for what it is that there's a blue card drawing card that has the artwork is them examining like a corpse of that artifact creature. And it says, and then the flavor text was, "This specimen appears to be broken," making fun of itself for making such a broken creature. Those things were Those things went for a lot of money at the time. They still kind of go for a decent amount of money. Kind of less so nowadays, more back when it was fresh and new. But yeah, you're paying for something different. It's not like they went, check out the card art. It's different from last time. Give us double the money.
Yeah.
It's a rules thing. So
yeah,
that's the weird part about it for me.
Yes, I agree. And speaking of weird things and all that, October is here. And you know what that means?
Pumpkin spiced everything.
Yes! Pumpkin spiced pencils, paper, video games, everything will have pumpkin spice in it.
Yeah.
Deodorant.
Oh yeah, by the way, that 1/60th scale Atlas model is 10.5 inches tall.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad for what it is. So, like, that's just to put it out there for people who've never seen it before.
So yes, pumpkin spice everything, but there's one thing that's happening that I'm excited for, and that is the new Evil Dead television show.
Oh, yes, I heard. Yes, that thing.
I cannot wait for that show to come out. It looks so good because it has all of the Sam Raimi touches to it, and Bruce Campbell, and I just cannot wait for this show to come out.
I'm sure. I hope it does. I hope it's not a flop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think far too often, not just for like the rose-colored nostalgia goggles, but just far too often, even without nostalgia playing a factor, that stuff gets brought back kind of halfway done, and it's just flops. And I don't. I'm not even that. I don't really care that much about it. It's not my big thing.
How dare you get out of this podcast?
Right? But at the same time, I want it to do well because if it does well, other things could happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's funny you say that. It's kind of like why you can never say you don't like The Godfather or you're not a fan of the Beatles. How can you not like the Beatles? I didn't say I didn't like them. I'm just not necessarily a fan of them necessarily. I'll listen to them, but it's not.
There's a couple of good songs, but they're not my favorite band.
Exactly, but you can't say that about certain things.
And
I thought Godfather 1 was better than 2.
Well, I'll admit that, but I still don't like Godfather 1. You know what I thought was a lot better? Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Some kind of.
What do you mean I'm amusing to you? One thing that I'm interested in actually is, speaking of all that stuff, oh man, I am horrible today.
But yeah,
this is bad. We don't do a podcast.
I delete one and
go south.
Yeah, it's because of all the pumpkin spice.
It's pumpkin spice everywhere.
It really is everywhere.
Yes, it is. It is a thing. It's a problem.
It is a problem.
And you know what's also everywhere right now?
What?
Christmas decorations.
Yeah. I saw stuff back in August.
Yeah, we
put up a bunch of
Halloween stuff. And 1 week later, Christmas was on the back wall and behind all the Halloween stuff.
It's just like, relax, Christmas. You'll have your chance.
Yeah, December. I remember back in the day, we didn't get excited for Christmas until December.
Yeah, I remember it was Thanksgiving happened.
Yep. Thanksgiving was November's holiday.
And then, Black Friday happened. And then
Black Friday just meant that everything was on sale and the stores opened at regular times.
Right. But Black Friday was the beginning of Christmassy stuff.
Yep. And let's be honest now, it's now Black Weekend.
It's like Black half the year. What are you talking about?
Thanksgiving no longer happens. I haven't had a Thanksgiving in the last 2 years because of Black Friday.
It's like, hey.
Because Walmart thought that fat guy equals can handle a crowd of people.
But it's just I don't the Black Friday, Cyber Monday. First of all, Cyber Monday is better deals, people. But
and also one of my employees did the math. There's better deals after Black Friday.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, store-wise, retails make more money after Black Friday. They spend more money to make Black Friday a thing. And after last year, I kind of wish I worked for Sears since they opened at normal regular business hours on Friday and were closed on Thursday.
Yeah. It's just...
Them and Cole.
They prove they are the companies to work for when it comes to holiday.
Right. But like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and any other type of special deal that stores do, whether the prices get slashed ridiculously, it's just all it's showing is how much they're ripping you off and you're accepting of it every other time of the year.
Yeah,
that's all.
Basically,
that's all it's doing. Wow, this thing that was $50 is now $19.99. Yeah, we're still making a profit. Joke's on you. But you know, I remember as a kid when things happen at an appropriate time, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like Christmassy stuff didn't really start until Thanksgiving happened. Maybe the stores had some decoration stuff to purchase, like lights and whatnot, but it wasn't like the store was in full-on Christmas mode. You know,
the Macy's Christmas display did go up until Thanksgiving, actually.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing. The parade would end at Macy's, and then Macy's would open up on Thanksgiving for a couple of hours, and that's when you'd see all the Christmassy stuff.
And that was like a huge deal. I remember actually doing that one year, and I hated life. But
we've never done that, but I remember we always watched the parade on TV.
I was there one year, and let me tell you, TV's got a way better vantage point. You could see things. And you're not freezing your tokus off because it's ridiculously cold out.
Yes. The weather is frightful.
But
and the fire is so very delightful.
Yes. But back to your Evil Dead thing, you know, just as a random side note about like movie and show stuff, I was really close to popping in Dragon Ball Evolution and watching it the other day. I actually seriously contemplated doing it. I have
Dragon Ball Evolution.
I own it. I can say I own it.
Man, this is worse than when I was in high school, when all the kids called me Geeko, and I couldn't get Chi-Chi to like. Oh God, I hit my head harder than I thought.
But like, I own it, and I'll admit it, full on here and there. I don't own the Mario Brothers movie. Because I can't bring myself to actually make that as a purchase.
The only thing they got right was their names.
Yeah, and they kind of did the old school arcade color scheme of them, kinda. Yeah, to a degree. But yes, everyone who hates it, their names actually, if you open up the panel for Mario Brothers, their name is Mario, Luigi, Mario. Yeah, it's been like that
not a thing.
It's been like that, you know, and for a while, obviously.
Granted, a lot of us forget about it because whoever read the instruction booklet,
and it came up in other games as well. But again, also, I never played a video game that I cared about the surname of the character unless they gave it to me. I never went, Link, what is your last name?
It's Link. His name is Link.
Let me just say this, though. There needs to be an awareness campaign for the fact that he's not called Zelda.
Also, and that he's not mute.
Right. But it's just like...
Because he does talk, and what I love, fun enough, I actually posted on the Zelda Miiverse once.
Yeah.
I said, you know what would be really cool, and I think is if they start adding voice acting. Granted, Link still not talk, but I think it would be cool if there was voice dialogue. That way, we're not spending 3 hours reading something just to get the story base along, and 50 messages of, no, you're wrong, go away, you're evil, get away from us, you sinner, get away from the devil, the power of Link compels you! Right. It's like, guys, one, Link can stay silent, that's fine, but the game's got to evolve. You know,
Yeah.
we and voice acting is the next stage.
Yeah.
Even Mario started adding dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, heck, Super Mario 64 had, like, at least
Mario!
and,
Woohoo!
and it had Peach read the letter to you in the beginning of the game.
Yep. You know, yes, I get it. You know, you really want to hold on tight to that immersion, and the reason Link doesn't talk is because he's supposed to be you, and you can have that and still have the other cast members talk.
Yeah, no, you can. Look at Half-Life.
Yeah, look, oh man! You know why he doesn't talk. You saw that video I sent you, right?
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, I sent him this video about, like, Gordon Freeman's agent, and he's like, yo, man, so, what, you are the greatest thing ever. He's like, I'm really happy to be here. I'm a big fan of your work. Is there something wrong with your throat? I'm picturing a very story-driven game. I narrate all the cutscenes, and oh, that's a great idea, but instead of you talking, how about you never, because you sound like a horrible thing.
Yes, but there's plenty of, you know, talking in there, and you're still supposed to be, you know, the silent protagonist because it's you.
Yep.
But it's just, they'll eventually there'll be voice acting, I'm sure of it, but I think that, you know, it does have to be a thing, a program out there to inform people that he is not Zelda, he is Link.
Yes.
Because I
that,
get it.
Thankfully, has gotten less out of control. More people are starting to realize it's not Zelda.
Yeah, but it's just... And
she just knows how to pay for top building.
Yeah. Now, I know that as a gamer, I'm more aware of these things, obviously. But
yeah,
the Zelda games have been around for so long. They're kind of a pop culture reference here and there.
Yep, they're a thing.
They're a thing that I think, you know, at this point, it's like saying Mario, he's the green one, right? No, you have to know these things. You know what I mean? Like, I think you just gotta know it's Link. You gotta know Zelda's the chick. That's all you gotta know. Even if you don't know it's Link.
Link, he came to town.
Yes. But even if you don't know that it's Link, just know that Zelda's the chick, and you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine from there. It's that simple, everybody. It's just I don't nerd rage over it like people who nerd rage over Robotech and Macross, but but it's just I find it funny that for how many, like, what, approaching it is 3 decades, right? Or is it about
almost? Mario is 30 years old, and Zelda I think is only like 2 or 3 years behind him.
Okay, so we're approaching 3 decades of Zelda and Link. I think it's about time to like. It's not like it was a one-hit wonder, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you don't know who Buck Bumble is. No, it's like it's Zelda and Link. So it's just kind of funny, especially considering how much more of a accepted thing gaming is.
Yep. And especially how everyone demands that all these Nintendo characters be on other systems, but Nintendo can't have any other game system characters. We should know who these characters are.
Right.
If you're going to demand Zelda on your Xbox, you better know which one is Link.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You should know this. But
speaking of, just real quick, because we are running out of time, but I do want to talk about it really quickly. We heard recently by Legendary Studios that Pacific Rim 2 was put on hiatus and possibly canceled. Guillermo del Toro recently came out and went, it's on hiatus. It is definitely, without a doubt, not canceled. I don't know about you, but I'm super hoping that that project happens.
Well, obviously. I mean, Pacific Rim, I think, was great, number one.
Phenomenal.
It was really cool. I mean, it's a movie about a giant robotic thing beating up kaiju.
Monsters invade our planet, and what do? We build robots to punch them in the face.
And walls to keep them out, even though they can fly, kind of. But anyway.
Well, we didn't know they could fly.
Well, yeah, but put it to you this way. If we can fly, why can't monsters fly? You know, if we have jets and stuff, and we knew pterodactyls and stuff existed.
Well, there's the thing is stupid science is always stupid. In movies like this, if the first 3 didn't have it, then stupid movie syndrome causes you to just assume they can't.
Oh yeah, no, I get it, but it's just like one little nitpick as like a joke.
Yeah.
if you're expecting Pride and Prejudice level of like depth and character and plot, you're looking at obviously the wrong film here.
Wrong place. Yeah.
That's like looking at The Expendables expecting some great dramatic drama twist, you know?
That's like it's going to Citizen Kane and wondering where all the explosions at.
So that's the first thing here. But it was a great film. It was, interesting. It wasn't just plug and play in, the whole 2 or 3 people thing and everything like that. But I would love a second one. I think the story would be interesting for it, just based on how the first one is. But it doesn't matter. It's so easy to build that as a plot. Like, why are we fighting them again? Because reasons. Don't worry about it. But
or we could go back and discover the first time the kaiju exists.
Right.
Because, like, Del Toro specifically said at the apex where they were winning the war.
Yeah. But, it's whatever. It doesn't. I'm not worried about that because I'm not going to go, really? The people's champion? Yeah. No, but I'm going to...
But, my mom, to this day,
no longer can take that film serious because of that. I was like, really? A movie where there's 8-foot-tall robots being controlled by remote controls pounding each other, and the thing that makes you not take this film...
People's champion.
Yeah, out of all the things in this film. Out of literally...
Stupid stuff in this movie.
Out of literally probably the world's worst parent.
The fact that the kid knew more about how to make money in his dad's profession.
Yes.
That part always...
Hugh Jackman.
You've been doing this for you've been
and a robot box
for
maybe 30 years, and you still know how money in this league works?
Yeah, no, it's weird.
The part that bothered me was how the kid was smarter about the sport than he was.
I hear you.
Okay, he knew a little bit more about the tells for how the robots were going to fight, but I'm like, no, the kid should not be educating you in how making money in the sport works.
No, I agree. But it is a bit odd that way, but it's just funny out of everything, People's Champion.
Yeah, but still, the People's Champion, that's the part you're going to nitpick about.
Right, but...
I just gave a better example of nitpicking, and still...
Right, but I do want that the Pacific Rim 2 to happen. That is something that I think needs to happen. Because
I want to see the Evil Dead where it's old Ash meets new Ash combo. I want to see that. There's a lot of movies out there that should happen.
Right. It's just I want to see these things happen because it's Pacific Rim is a doorway. It's a doorway movie potential series with now the second one, and by that I mean it's a doorway. It's a gateway into having. Who knows? Other giant robot films happen. Other non-Godzilla giant monster films happen.
Yep.
Potential crossover possibility. Gundam, perhaps live action. You never know. The point is,
well, they did. There was G-Savior.
We don't talk about that. But my point is, it opens up for Hollywood level production stuff to be taken not so much taken serious. I don't want to say taken seriously, but
more mainstream.
But actually happen. As much as I'm not really caring about the World of Warcraft movie, that opens the doors for other things.
Yeah. Make me a StarCraft movie. I'm in.
Yeah, and that's my point. If the World of Warcraft movie does well, but if you just do simple math, if every WoW player sees it, the film will succeed.
The film will make its budget 20 times over.
Right.
Especially once it goes overseas.
Oh, God. It would be I guarantee you, what is it? Was it China or Korea that in prison they actually make the prisoners farm gold to sell?
Korea.
It'll probably be okay,
you are all seeing movie.
Now. It's just the government, the country shut down, must see movie today. But
every single it'll be like the South Park episode. That'll be the day no raid happens.
Oh God, imagine that. but the WoW film,
because all the healers will be watching the movie.
Yes, the WoW film or Warcraft film, whatever it's called, will most likely succeed just because of the fan base behind it. But that is, again, another gateway type thing for other stuff to happen, not just with Blizzard products, but elsewhere. And that's why things like certain films are important. That's why when Iron Man 1 came out, it was so important it did well. Because if that just tanked, you probably wouldn't be seeing the Avengers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, certain things are important, even if you're not the biggest fan of them. Now, I happen to like Pacific Rim a lot, so I'm hoping it does well.
And I'm hoping Hellboy 3 happens. I know, Ron Perlman, I support you in your goals.
Yes, exactly. And, like, you know, who knows? Maybe with all this crazy stuff happening, maybe there'll be, there won't be a live-action DBZ, but it'll be hilarious. Like Hollywood-level production, live action. And
that actually follows the story?
That actually follows the story, right? Like, actually a DBZ film, not DBE, or DB almost. But it'd be funny. It wouldn't obviously be with Super Saiyan God, which is basically just Toriyama's way of getting Chrono into DBZ.
Yeah.
Because it's the same colored hair and style.
And with that, we are now officially out of time.
Officially, folks. So buy this when it comes out of print on eBay.
Yeah. Be billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So thank you all for listening, and let us know in the comments what type of movie, like sequel thing, you want to see happen, and what's the best deal you've ever gotten on eBay, or what's the most outlandish request from eBay have you heard? Like, what have you gotten that was like a steal, and what have you seen? How could you expect to make that much off of it?
Yeah, now... especially if it's something like in the miniature wargame related, like you can get like an original Warjack for like $1 million or something, or like
and like I can't believe I spent that much money.
Right.
So that is all for right now. Thank you all for listening, and until next time, fearless gamers. This is Matt the Vet.
James the Wildcard.
Saying take care.
Peace.